Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is my mailbag. My name is John, joined by Dan Hibiki.
Always a pleasure.
So basically, for people that don't know what's going on the kingofhate.com forums, many of the viewers sent in questions that they had of me. It's very interesting. I want to know things about me.
Who wouldn't?
My hygiene,
Oh, I get the same thing.
habits, things like that. So we have a list of questions. Dan Hibiki's going to ask me the questions. Thank you for sending your questions in. Thank you to a member named Gameboxed, is the dude that put them all in a nice list. So I'm very lazy. I don't want to go through the whole thread. So without further ado, let's go. Rambo's mailbag.
Right.
What do we got?
Our first question. How were you like when you were younger? Were you a gangster in high school and a frat guy in college? This question is brought to us by Neo Swags.
Thank you for the question, sir. So what is the question? What was I like?
Yeah, well, how were you like when you were younger? Were you a gangster in high school and a frat guy in college?
I was more of the guy that didn't really belong to any specific group and just kind of like made fun of the people that were in the groups.
Just everybody. Everyone was a target.
Pretty much. Yeah, I remember being in school. People would try to fit into these little, make
Cliques, niches.
little cliques. And with all due respect, if you are a gangster and you enjoy that lifestyle, then so be it. But it always seemed to me like a lot of people didn't really even enjoy the things they were.
They were just doing it.
They were just doing it. People like to fit into some kind of mold. It's easy. You don't have to think for yourself that way. You could just kind of like, what does the group do? So I kind of always did my own thing, and I did take shit for it, but I think that's the way to be. And if I was part of a group, I guess it would be my own personal sarcastic asshole club that I was part of.
Very exclusive
It was
membership.
a very exclusive membership, yes. What else we got here?
All right, our next question is from M40 Assassin.
Oh shit.
Either he's going to kill us all, or he's played a lot of Counter-Strike,
Okay.
or maybe Call of Duty.
Perhaps both.
Have you ever considered yourself a nerd by playing all these video games and doing what you do?
Doing what I do. I've certainly been called that a few times, or other words.
Is that a bad thing?
As well. I don't think so. Just to drop some knowledge on everybody, a little advice. No matter what you do in this world, be it good or bad, or incredibly successful or terrible, people will always hate you. There will always be some people that put you down, and for various reasons. So you can't be afraid. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm sorry. Don't hold me to...
You cannot be afraid to be yourself and do things that you want to do. If you are afraid of that, you will never do anything. So no matter what you do, there will always be someone that wants to hate on you or make fun of you. So the most important thing is to do exactly what you want every day. This is your life. You're only given one chance, and you have to do it. You have to do the best you can with what you have. And I'd probably be called a nerd, but playing games has brought me so many things. Like I've gone all across the United States. I went to Japan. If I cared what people thought about that or called me a nerd, I probably would have like half the friends I've made over the years. So the most important thing is be yourself, and just don't give a crap about anything else. People that want to pick on you like for things you like, they're insecure in themselves. They see someone enjoying something they like. Maybe these people, there's nothing in their life that brings them joy, nothing that they like. So they want to lash out at other people. Or they're just jealous of your success because you were brave enough to do what you wanted to do and they're not. So, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah, I got a lot deeper actually than
we're digging in there. This is the mailbag.
This is the top.
We're digging into the inner crust.
That's question 2, mind you.
Okay. How much time do we have here?
Time? Enough.
Okay, let's keep going.
Now, question 3 is from someone whose name is either Deryu or Dayryu. It could be anything. It could be anything at all. How did you get involved with gaming? Do you take gaming as a more casual thing or more hardcore, like Phil?
I was born in the 80s, so you grew up with the controller in your hand pretty much. some of like the older family members, like my aunt, uncle. My uncle was actually a champion dig dug player,
I did not know that.
and yeah, he was one of the best dig dug players in the country. And to this day, he's probably one of the best gamers I ever was around. Like you give him anything, he'll just pick it up and go to town with it. So yeah, I was born in the '80s, and the Atari and the NES, and was just always in your lap. And what's the second part of it?
And
Hardcore or something?
yeah, casual or more hardcore?
I play Street Fighter hardcore, and everything else is just pretty much casually. You know, casually to me though is like, I'll sit there for 5 hours straight with something if I really like it. That's casual to me. Some people casual is like an hour, 2 hours a week. So it just depends how you look at it. But I guess to the average person, I'm hardcore with everything. In my own mind, I just I don't. Only Street Fighter. I want to be like the best player and all that shit.
So you don't spend 10 hours a day playing Bejeweled?
I do not. No.
Nothing wrong
If
with
there's
that.
something I do like, I'll play. I'll sit there for a while.
As you should.
I don't know about that.
Do what you want, man. Have fun.
Exactly. That's what we just talked about, right?
Yeah, you see? Picking up the knowledge already.
What do we got, Dan?
All right. This one is from Fishy. There's 3 H's in there, so Fishy. What is your most memorable video gaming moment?
Wow.
That's a big question. Thank you, Fishy.
Jeez. There's been many moments over the last like 20 years or so I've been playing games, probably more than that. There's been moments where you stop and you're like, this is the future. This is amazing. The earliest memories would be like Super Mario Brothers, the original.
Good times.
Mega Man. I remember Mega Man. What's the game that had like the cloud level? You jump from clouds.
Oh, man.
I thought that was like the greatest graphics ever.
That was brutal, though.
It blew my mind. Zelda.
All of them?
I remember Ninja Turtles, the 1989 arcade game.
That first scene with the fire, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going to the arcade, and like the arcade was such a magical place because you had the consoles, okay? And as a kid, you think the consoles were freaking. The NES was like amazing, but what the arcade had was like 10 times better looking than what you had at home. So you'd show up and be like, what the fuck? So 1989 Turtles game, I remember that distinctly like hitting me. A Link to the Past blew me away. Super Mario World, obviously. When I first got the Super Nintendo for Christmas, when it first came out,
Oh, man.
that was probably like my favorite Christmas I ever had in my life. Resident Evil, first Resident Evil, sitting there and like one of my neighbors had it. That was insane.
Scary, dude.
Mario 64. A lot of stuff on the PlayStation. Sega CD was crazy when I first put that in. Hasn't been anything in a long time though. I'm trying to think of something recently. That was Red Dead Redemption was cool. Yeah, a little bit of that feeling, but there hasn't been anything in a long time that gave you that like, holy, like the world is changed and different now.
Nothing yet?
Nothing in a while. So hopefully something like that comes out again. I think we're getting a lot of like retreads of things. But those are some of the moments. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. But
Yeah. Well,
that's some of the stuff that hit me.
well, I've got a feeling you're going to be narrowing down that list a little bit in your mind for this next question.
Oh shit.
What is your favorite game ever for any system? This question comes from Kitsune.
I don't really like those kinds of questions. Honestly, it's like it's just too many. It's just too much, man. I have to sit there and really.
So I guess all those games you just mentioned would qualify.
Yeah, pretty much everything I just mentioned. A Link to the Past. Insert random Mario game. Metal Gear Solid, the first game. Resident Evil, the first like 3 I liked a lot. And then of course my favorite game would be Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Arcade Edition.
Well, there you go. That wasn't so hard to get out of you, huh?
People know that. What else do I like?
Shooters.
Do I like shooters?
Raiden, Galaga.
Yeah, I like those games.
Well,
yeah.
Galaga's a little more old school, but
So those are probably my like top 3: Link to the Past and Metal Gear, Resident Evil,
yeah,
stuff like that.
they're good ones.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh gosh, that's like a
So they were like
masterpiece.
a lot. You saw me beat that, right?
Yeah, I saw you. I helped you get through that stupid final
You
one.
didn't help me. I do it myself.
All right,
Let's
all
go.
Nah, I couldn't do it, but
That was fun.
I gave you a well-needed break.
Thank you.
So, this one is from Siege Turtle.
Oh yeah.
How did you get into Street Fighter? How did you decide to become a pro Street Fighter player? No question marks. Just commas.
Is it a question?
I think it's a
It's
question.
debatable. Okay.
Sorry, Siege Turtle.
My earliest remembers of Street Fighter 2, was in some random mall. I don't know where this was. I was probably about 6 or 7 years old when Street Fighter 2 World Warrior came out. I saw Street Fighter 2. I saw this select screen and like the world map, and it just hit me somewhere deep inside. Something changed. Something snapped, and I was like, I want to play that game. And I walked up to it. The story gets sad now. I walked up. I put money in. I started playing it. I think I picked like Blanca. I thought he was cool. This older guy, this like adult guy, comes over and picks Honda. Just does 100-head slaps, and like that's all he does is just laughs. I was probably like 6 or 7. I never played before, so that's all he did. He beat me. He laughed, and I still liked it though. Okay, but it's something about that stayed with me. Taking that beating as a young child stayed with me, and then obviously when it came out on the Super Nintendo, I played it. I wasn't able to go to the arcade because I was a kid, and my parents wouldn't just bring you there and stuff like that. I didn't get to go to the arcade until I was much older, so I just played the Super Nintendo version like over and over again. Especially in the summers, like the parents would go to work, and I'd just be left there. I had like a couple of games. I had like Mario World. I had Street Fighter, and I would just play, like, beating the computer over and over again. And what was the rest of the question? That's how I got into it, so.
And how did you decide to go pro?
I decided to go pro. Did I go pro?
You went to Japan for Street Fighter. That's pretty pro.
I think you're only pro if you make money at something, but, I can't say I ever did that, but, basically just kind of came together. Like, when I turned, when I got a car and some money, 16, 17 years old, I was able to go to the arcade. The arcade I went to was Game World in Danbury, Connecticut, and just started playing, and some people would beat you, and then you want to get better. And the game that we played the most back then was Capcom vs. SNK2. That had just come out. So my local arcade, we played that, and then I started meeting people that knew about tournaments and stuff. My friend Jamie and my friend Tony. And these guys I just started following these guys, playing with these guys a lot, and we started going to tournaments. And then I met Phil, and then Phil, like by the time I met Phil, he was already a top established player. He had gotten top 4 at Evolution, 2005. So once I met him, then it was just like it just kind of came together, and started traveling with him, and lived from there. So.
And it's become this wonderful.
Well, sometimes it's wonderful. Sometimes it's not, but it's I enjoy it for the most part.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want to hear.
It's been a lot of work.
Yeah, but you've got your fans supporting you.
Sometimes, yeah. I support them. They support me. What else we got? Was that the whole question?
That was the whole statement.
Okay.
So, you always used Dalsim on Street Fighter, and how you started fancying him. No, I'm gonna guess maybe he meant fancying. I'm not positive. This is from Sardark.
I don't know if I fancy Dalsim.
Maybe
I think he's a strong character.
Maybe he meant how you started like to get you like.
How did I start using Dalsim?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to bring you back now. As I just talked about, I talked about Phil getting top 4 at Evolution in 2005. That was a major. Evolution 2005 was like a major turning point for me. Basically, Phil got top 4, and he's a local person, so that led me to be able to play him and learn. And what happened was this dude named Giant, who's a Japanese Dalsim player. He won Evolution that year, and I remember just watching the footage, and like it blew my mind. Like the stuff he was doing, I thought it was incredible, and so I was like, I want to do what that dude is doing. So I picked Dalsim, and Dalsim's interesting because he's like he's one of the best characters, but he takes a very long time to learn and master. So it's kind of a weird thing with him. It takes a very long time. But I studied footage from this dude Giant. I actually played him in 2007. I went to Evolution, and he was there.
Oh.
And I played him in casual matches, and I had a conversation with his wife. It just like randomly happened. It was very strange, but yeah, it's basically why, because of that dude, and like I think he's the best Super Turbo player. And I went to Japan. I saw him. I didn't get to play him. I did see him there again as well. So that's pretty much the reason why. Yeah.
Wow.
So because of Giant and because Dulles was one of the best. That's my answer.
All right. It's a good answer.